that. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another installment, another episode, another... Can't think of a third word. They say good things come in threes unless you can't think of a third one. And then good things come in twos. But welcome to the You're Still Here podcast. This episode of the You're Still Here podcast is brought to you by Flintstone Vitamins. The vitamins that you can get kids to take by making sure there are no nutritional benefits to them. They just taste like candy, just like Dimetap. And that's what we're going to give to you. That's what we're going to give to your kids to make sure that they have the appropriate vitamins. Candy... and then we're just going to put it in the vitamins section. So Flintstone Vitamins, pick it up for your kids. How we doing, everybody? How's it been the last couple of weeks? Once again, I just want to thank you for bearing with me. I've been doing that NHL show. We're in the Stanley Cup Finals, and there's only a week left. So that's going to be coming to a close relatively soon, and I can get the podcasts out, at least 3 out of 4 weeks. But, this is good. Maybe this is like, maybe you, the audience out here, you're like one of the hot girls who it's like, oh, now he's not available more, so I really want to listen to him. You guys want me more now that I've been here less? Is that how it goes? She's a 10, but have you seen that? Have you seen that little mini sensation that's been going on? She's a 10, but, and then you list the one thing. Oh, she's a 10, but she's a Rangers fan. He's a 10, but... he works on an NHL gambling site, which is not good for anybody's health. But have you seen this sensation? I'm back and forth in my head about how I feel about these things because it gets so corny. When everybody starts doing something, any sense of originality is lost, and then everybody starts with their chalk answers because everybody thinks they're funny, but none of the things end up being original. So she's a 10. But so is everyone else on Instagram. There's not a single 9. So she's a 10, but so is everybody else. That's my ending to that statement. What's yours? Leave it in the comments section. As I don't read any of your comments, it's just going to be a clickbait YouTube tactic to get engagement up and then hope that other people are forced to watch the video. Anyway, how is everything going? We're here. The months are flying on me. That's what happens when you're busy. Being busy can be a good thing and a bad thing depending on where you are in your life, but I guess it's been a good thing for me. Not a bad thing when you get to watch hockey and get paid for it in some capacity. But, like I said, I give gambling advice on NHL games, and I've been giving great advice. But it's really bad when, you're getting paid to do this thing, but then you end up betting, and now that's more than you're even making, or you can end up putting yourself deeper in the hole than taking the job if you're irresponsible, which I can be at times. Something pretty funny happened the other day, and I got mail. You've got mail. Actual hard mail, like a magazine, and then another kind of welcome invitation to sign up for another, come back to this magazine. I've never signed up for a magazine, so I don't know how they're saying come back, but it's really, really funny. I just said you've got mail. When I was a kid, I went on America Online or AOL.com thinking nothing of it. This is before the word scam was foreign to me at this point. I'm literally just a teenage kid. And it would say, if you want a free Sports Illustrated, just put your name and address right there. And even though this was before Edward Snowden, this was before you knew when you went to CVS and filled out that card just to save $10 that they would be selling all that information, and then all of a sudden you'd be receiving mail for years. Well, before all that, I didn't know, but I thought it would be hilarious to receive mail in the name of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So when I was a kid, I literally went down the gamut and filled out to receive a free episode of Sports Illustrated for Stone Cold Steve Austin. So just the other day, decades later, we received mail to my house for Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is how these mailing lists go, by the way. You fill out one thing, and decades later, you will be receiving a renew your subscription. To who? To Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, we signed up for these before there was any sort of, put your name and verify and put your number and then confirm your email. No, you just filled out anything, and I guess it just went through. I get mail to the house. It's not just Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's other characters, Willy Wonka. All these fake characters are receiving magazines that were popular in the late 90s to my house, excluding Playboy, apparently, because I don't think that was as simple as just filling out a form. But for real, it was really funny. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and upload it. I just got sent to my house mail to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, how can they go through on that? How can they go when the first two words are Stone Cold? You can't be sending that out. But they don't care. They're not updating the policies. They're just firing it out. Who cares if a kid illegally filed for this in 1998? Let's just keep sending it anyway. You know? What else do we got going on? I just told you about the girls, the 10s, she's a 10, but she hasn't answered her phone in 25 years. I was reminded of a situation where, you know how sometimes rumor has it that hot girls can be crazy? You know, there's that hot, crazy matrix that's well known. If you haven't seen it, you've been living under a rock. Just YouTube the hot, crazy matrix, and there's this guy who puts out this graph saying, the hotter they are, the crazier they are. This is a known thing. And here's what you do. This is 4D chess. If you're with a hot girl, and now it's not that she's actually into you, but you've found out that she's ultra crazy now, and you have to get out of it. Now, if you just dump a girl like this, if you dump a hot girl, that's the worst thing you can do, because hot girls, everyone says yes to them. Yes, yes, yes. So when there's somebody who kicks them to the curb, then they're going to be all over you. They're never going to stop. They're going to hunt down your social media. They're going to do anything and everything to keep exact tabs on you. So if you start hanging out with some other girl, she's going to know about it by hook or by crook. Don't ask me how. Just know the necessary steps are going to be taken if you're going out with this crazy person. So here's what you do. I don't know. You know what? I think this does qualify. This will qualify for our scam of the week. And the scam of the week is the 4D chess intentional over pursuit. So going back to what I was just saying, when you have a hot girl, the number one turnoff to any hot girl, and now there's somebody watching right now say, "Oh, here we go, a guy telling us." Look, am I wrong about it? Yes, everything is wrong to a certain extent. Nothing applies to everyone. I have a big nose. I love pasta, but I don't like seafood. You know what? A lot of the Italian stereotypes do apply to me, but I don't like seafood. So you're going to get one of those, all right? I understand. I'm not speaking for everybody, but the reason the hot, crazy matrix is a thing is because enough people say, "Oh, yeah, you know what? That's true. It is a thing." So how did I just get riled up as if somebody was arguing with me, even though they clearly weren't? I forgot to hit record on the device. No, hold on one sec. Oh, no, it's recording. False alarm. All right, let me rewind this a little bit. So, yes, the intentional over pursuit. There's nothing that turns a hot girl off more than being pursued by somebody. Like, let's say you meet a really hot girl out there and you hit her up right away, and then you like, "Oh, what are you doing this weekend?" And then nothing that sickens me more than not just being able to be like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" "Oh, sure." No, you have to do this Dinky Donuts game where they have to think you're not interested, but meanwhile, you guys both know you are interested, but it's a question of who can play the discipline game long enough. It's nonsense. It's all nonsense, and I hope every relationship that starts like that crumbles. Just to eventually prove a point in the long run. "Oh yeah, look at me. Yeah, the karma enforcer. I've told you about that, right? Where you personally take karma into your own hands to even out the balances. However, what you do in this situation, if you're with a nut and you want them to go away, you start over pursuing them. I know it seems like the wrong approach, But if you're with somebody who's hot and you see that she's crazy and you want to get out, you have to start asking her to hang out all the time, because then she's going to get the, oh my God, he's like a desperate guy. He's just like those other guys. And she's going to push you away. And when she pushes you away, that little thing that's going to switch, it's not going to happen. And she's not going to go on a manhunt figuring out why you dumped her and why you would do something like that and who you're with, what's going on. No, rather you over pursue her so that she chucks you. You and someone like that, you have to let them think they won. And that way you're free to do whatever the hell it is you want off to the side. Now look, she might take a glance down the road, but she left on her own oh God, I hate when I'm forgetting words by the year. Volition? She left on her own, under her own will, her own choice, on her own terms. So she's obviously going to be less prone to be snooping around. But if you just leave her all of a sudden, her life's goal is going to be to figure out why. And if you're dealing with someone crazy, you can't do. So you have to do the intentional over pursuit. You have to go against, like George Costanza, you have to do the opposite of what your brain is saying. Don't answer that. Ignore her. No, you have to do the opposite. You have to answer immediately. She texts you. Within 2 minutes, you respond. And then she's like, oh my God, he's so desperate. And you're out. She thinks she wins. You win in the end. And that's how it's done. Because I could tell you something. Let's just say I know of a person who was kind of ghosted. She was somewhat abruptly chucked, for lack of a better term. She wants to know what the hell happened, and obviously I can sympathize with somebody like that. So she's doing serious bunker work. She's checking family members' profiles to see if there's any sort of upload. She just wants a trickle of information. Do you want to know you want to know when that wouldn't have happened? If that girl was the one who left, she wouldn't be checking profiles of friends and all that. You have to do the intentional over pursuit so that she chucks you, and then you're free to do whatever you want, upload whatever you want, go wherever you want, tag whoever you want. You're good. So that's this week's scam of the week. It's the intentional over pursuit to rid yourself of a problematic individual. In a relationship, in dating, or who knows, even a friend. Probably wouldn't work as much with a friend, but definitely a hot girl you were hanging out with. And that's the big caveat. You're hanging out with somebody disgusting. Sorry to use that term. Actually, I'm not. But they're just going to be like, okay, cool, let's hang out now. And let's hang out tomorrow. And let's hang out the next day. So just know that only applies if you're one of the fortunate individuals. And when I say fortunate, I think statistically it's like under 0.2% of individuals who gets to actually be with a hot girl or spend some time with a hot girl. And how do you define hot? How do you define 0.2%? I don't know. I'll leave it up to your imagination. This isn't a mathematics show. This is a let your mind run free show. No, it's not. I even just made that up. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is what happens when you take me off for 2 weeks. We're going in any which direction here. I think with your phone, I was just telling you about when somebody hits you up. Maybe you have this crazy girl who's texting you, and you want to know that it's her. Like, let's say your phone is across the room. You'd like to know that it's her texting you or anybody. Why is it, and it's going to, oh no, I think this does exist. If this exists, I apologize. I haven't looked into it, but are there text tones for individual people? I know there's ringtones for individual people, but how many people are placing calls these days? Are there text tones for individuals? Like, for example, this would be the chalky answer. This would be the version of what people are doing with the she's a 10, but the equivalent of doing the dun 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 dun. Can you store that as a text tone, like for your girlfriend or something like that? Because have a Price is Right ding for somebody. You should have the Price is Right overbid. You should have the Wheel of Fortune bankrupt. I don't know why I'm going with game show sounds, because they're quick. I don't know, that they always sound they're great sounds. And I think they would apply in a fantastic fashion to individual text tones. And if that hasn't been done yet, what are you waiting? Of all the things you can do, I literally can transport my phone into a helmet and then be in the metaverse, but you mean to tell me I can't program a text tone for other people? This is what these iPhones do. I think I've mentioned this before. They intentionally hold back features that they could put in there, but then they're out of ideas. So they do the trickle release. They say, oh, wait, the rotating text tones for the people, for each individual person, new text tone? No. Save that for iPhone 18. No. We're going to have nothing left. What are they going to buy? Hold back that feature. Hold it back. Do you know how many features they've probably held back already? And one of two things are going to release them. Number one, if another phone actually releases it first. Or number two, they're just actually out of ideas. So now they have the overflow of, oh yeah, put the rotating text tones on this one, just so that when we say, oh, new phone capability, yeah. So they should definitely have that, because I would utilize that. I would absolutely utilize that individual text tones per person. I've also seen with phones, and when you're watching YouTube, like the ads are personalized to you. Everything. I'm sure you've heard about people who they'll be talking about something. Like, name one thing I've been talking about. Oh, I've talked about the Flintstone vitamins, the ones that are basically candy designed as vitamins. Then all of a sudden somebody will be in Amazon and it will kind of show you an advertisement for Flintstones vitamins. You guys know about that, right? You know about stuff like that. Well, the advertisements that you see on your devices, on YouTube, they're kind of are catered to you. And I told you that I've been doing these NHL betting videos. So obviously a lot of the videos that I've been viewing are gambling related, when I'm trying to gather information, see, or even comment on my own videos that people are asking questions on. And now that I've been doing that, I've been seeing a lot of these Russian wives commercial. So I just find that really funny, because when you place an ad on YouTube or something, you choose the interests of the people. So that means whoever is running these buy yourself a Russian wife ad, they made the calculation, if somebody is going to sportsbook websites, if they're going to watch NHL gambling videos, MLB, DFS, DraftKings videos, then I am going to bet that's the type of mindset that's willing to pay for a Russian wife. If they're willing to pay a $250 deposit for best ball, then they're probably willing to pay $25,000 for a nice, fresh Russian wife who will allow that person to continue playing best ball as little or as often as they want. I don't know. And they made the calculation that if you're placing one-game parlays, then you are more likely to take a chance on paying for a foreign wife. I must say, I kind of agree with their calculation. Go around a casino, go around Atlantic City. Tell me the percentage of people that you think, when looking around, would be like, oh yeah, I'll buy a wife. And then go around, walk around town and see how often you'd say that as well. I think they're on to the right clientele. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I kind of look disgusting. I actually, in the next week, I'm finally going to film the Stranger Things parody that I've been talking about, I've been referencing. It's taken a little while. I've had to grow some 80s hair. We're just about there. I know I look ridiculous, but we're just about there. I actually was FaceTiming with somebody a couple days ago, and you ever get this where somebody, they just pop a pimple and it's obvious. It's on their face. They see it. And then they give you the, oh, well, I thought it was a bug bite. So no. You knew it was a zit. You popped it. And now everybody can see it. And you have to use the bug bite excuse. You know somebody who's done it. And that's what no, you didn't know. You didn't. Oh, so really you were going to pop the bug bite? If it was a bug bite, you're giving it the X. If it's a zit, you're giving it a pop, and now it's blown up and you can't hide it, so you had to go with the bug bite. And I don't blame you. You know, we've all thought about it, but then we realize, oh, but I would think that somebody is faking a zit if they said that, so let me just go ahead and not do it. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe that's my corrupt mind. I know we're a little bit all over the place here. Sorry, I should be able to break things down in a coherent fashion, but you know me, I can ramble. But at least I'm better than my friend who speaks to employees in an accent like he's from the place that they're from and doesn't speak English. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I have friends who work with, people from different parts of Central America, South America, and if they speak in an accent, like a thick accent, he thinks that somehow speaking English back to them, mimicking the accent, is actually easier for them to comprehend than him just speaking standard English. It would be the equivalent of me just faking an accent like this to somebody. I don't even know what the hell that was. But he speaks in a fake accent, thinking that there's an accent understanding if he speaks that way back to the people. That's pretty hysterical. That's pretty hysterical. Is it racist? No, it isn't. It's hysterical is what it is. As if, do you imagine that? So imagine he spoke in English and they didn't get it, and then he said the same exact sentences with a fake accent that he just made up to sound in what he believes their accent is. And then they're like, oh, now I get it. Okay, sure, we'll be there at 4. No. I was driving on Father's Day to spend some Father's time. And I used Waze because, to the best of my ability or the best of my belief, Waze is probably the best way to go, most up to date, take you through side streets, lets you know when those lights, and the best feature of Waze, lets you know when those camera lights are, speed traps are. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. I know the cops don't, but I do. However, I was driving and I'd never seen this notification. I don't know if it's relatively new or whatnot. They give you a roadkill notification. And you know how they always give you like the generic little pictures? Well, the roadkill, it was like, because obviously, you know what roadkill looks like? Picture it in your head. Yeah, that's not the picture that they showed you. They acted as if it was just like, I don't know, a cute version of a dead animal from what I saw. And I was just like, where did that decision come from? Who made this decision to choose that as the picture for roadkill? And also, who's reporting roadkill? Who's reporting anything? I was thinking about that while driving. Police to your right, a rake to your left. Who's reporting this? How can that information get there? Somebody has to report it. And I've always said, like, who is on Yelp reviewing these 3-star restaurants? Who is in the car, opens Waze to notify other people that there's a rake in the left lane? I'll never understand it. It does not make sense to me. I've never entered anything. Most people, I believe, are driving by themselves. So who's entering this stuff? And how can it be that up to date where in the last couple of minutes, somebody has updated the situation? Cops many times, they don't just stay in one place. How is it knowing this? Because it's pretty damn good with it. How does it know? The roadkill, I understand. The roadkill's there, it's going to stay there. But all these little things that appear and then disappear, whether it's a cop or a car pulled over to the side of the road, it's going to start getting real weird. Guy tying his shoe. I wonder how specific it's going to get in the coming years as the technology proceeds to get even better and better and better. And now I'm going to pass along a myth. I'm not sure if this is true, but I think it would have to be correct. You know how they gauge the traffic on Waze and Google Maps and all that? I was told, and this makes sense to me, that they take like they aggregate the data and locations from all the phones, and from that they can detect how many people are there. That sounds like it would be correct to me. But how the hell would it be so precise that it know? Because you know what? How can that be true if there's traffic on one side of the highway and then not traffic on the other side of the highway? It wouldn't know that because all the users are right next to each other. How would it know? So all of a sudden, that doesn't sound so right to me. There's a major pet peeve I have with using those traffic things, though. These are obviously going to be older people, but they think they know a quicker way. No, like, I always take the so-and-so. It's going to be quicker. You can literally be looking at the traffic and you say, no, I see it. It's red. It's red that whole highway. But they think because they've taken it many times in the past, it's somehow your phone is lying to you. And I do actually have another friend who believes it intentionally lies to you to clear up certain highways for other people. I've literally heard, don't trust it. Like, Google Maps says there's nothing on the Cross Island there. He goes, don't trust that. Don't trust Google Maps showing you the live traffic. Don't trust the cameras mounted on the highways that can be checked if you really want to. Don't trust that. Trust your recollection of that one time you drove to the Nassau Coliseum 5 years ago. I don't think so. But there are a lot of people like that. A lot of stubborn people out there. And with that said, how the hell long are we into this right now? Because I need a sip of something. You hear that? You can hear my voice changing. How gross am I? We're about 28 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. I was telling you before about when you're with somebody hot or somebody crazy and you want to get away from them, you actually have to do the opposite and you have to go after them so that they're not into you. Wild world we live in, huh? I once had a friend who he always thought it was funny and they would go up to people on the street and ask them questions. They go, oh, Brittany, are you still with Kevin Federline? Do you still love the guy? Are you still into him? Are the rumors about you hooking up with so-and-so true? And he always said, if they ever came up to me, I would just say yes. Whatever it is they said, I'm like, yep, I did it. Yep, that was me. And I wonder, maybe somebody should take that approach. Shouldn't somebody take the Marshawn Lynch approach with TMZ? He said whatever they say. Oh, is it true that you actually left your wife to be with a gay lover in Las Vegas? You go, yeah, yep, that was me. And did this occur over the weekend? Yep, over the weekend. Just whatever they say, just say, yep, I did it. That was me. I guess their publicist wouldn't be a fan of that. But then again, if you just agree to everything, I don't know. I have a friend like that, by the way. I know I keep saying I have a friend. It just sounds like one of those made-up things. Oh, well, I have a friend. He's into this person. And then it's always me. No, but I really do. Talk to somebody who knows me. I have the wildest assortment of friends. I don't have like starburst friends where, oh, you got the yellow, the orange, the red. This is those tropical Skittles. They're colors that don't even exist. It's not on the crayon box. Indigo brown are some of my friends. They are wild ones. I have one friend. He agrees with everybody, no matter what. Literally whatever you say, he'll just be like, oh, yeah. You know, hey, man, you should probably get married before 30. Right? Oh, yeah, you definitely don't want to wait till after 30 because then you never know what's going to happen. They're going to fall behind you. Oh, I definitely want to go. The very next person can walk by him and say, man, you should never get married before 30. Oh, why would you do that? Like, you're not mature yet. You don't know what you're thinking. You're going to make mistakes when you're younger, but then when you're older, it's fine. He agrees with everybody, no matter what. And I think there are a couple characters you kind of see like this. But one time I asked him, I go, well, why don't you have any opinions of your own? Like, why do you do this? And he finally admitted, he just goes, really, Andy? Because I don't give a fuck what anything that you guys have to say. Like, I don't care what you guys have to say. So if I agree, we can just get to the next thing. It was one of the funniest things I ever heard. And it hit hard. I mean, it was funny. Like, I don't give a fuck. So if I just agree, you're going to be done with it. And it's true. It's true. The next time you want to disagree with somebody, like if it's a topic that you really don't want to talk about too much, but you vehemently disagree, just agree with the person and then see how quickly that is not a topic anymore. And if you've moved on to the next thing, then you can see this guy's point. But he does it a lot, and it's something that my personality struggles with. I have too much of a prick in me where if I hear something that's really, I go, I'm an guy, and that's not good. I wish I can just hear bullshit and be like, yeah, like my friend with TMZ. I wish I could say, oh, yes, absolutely, no problem, yeah. No, I am with Hayden Panettiere. Nah, I don't care about Klitschko. Nah, I don't care about that other guy. Nah, I don't care about the fifth guy. Nah, I don't care about the eighth guy. It's all good. It's all good, baby. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming back. I hope you enjoyed this episode somewhat. It was a good time, right? I know something like 30 minutes, roadkill ways, TMZ, how to get rid of somebody freaky. What do you want from me? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But this is what you get. This is what you got. As always, continue to listen to the show. Continue to download. Share with a friend. I appreciate it. I'm not asking you for Venmos this time. I'm not asking because since I've been in every other weeker, and beggars can't be choosers, and non-podcasters can't be askers. These are the dumbest, most invented, nonsensical sayings ever. I need somebody to work off of here. I need a fake person. I really just need like one of those people in Demolition Man just attached to a screen like, oh, hello. I'm 5 minutes away from hiring nobody, but having some like interactive person to just bounce some ideas off of and just say, yeah, I know, I disagree. No, you shouldn't get married before. No, you should get married. Imagine that, the agreeer. All right, everyone, take it easy. I will be back with you soon. We'll get back to a normal schedule in the coming weeks here. Do me a favor, share the podcast with a couple friends, and when I'm done with this Stranger Things parody, you'll see it on YouTube. Share that with people too. I would like people. I'm going to work hard on it. I hope it ends up being funny. I think it will be. It is in my head, but then again, everything is in my head, so we'll see how it comes out. So if you can share that, I'd appreciate it. Take it easy. I will be back with you, if not next week, the following, but I'm planning for next week. Talk to you then.